and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, back in all my gloriousness, as you can see. Welcome one and all to the Lightning Flash update right here on YouTube.com. You already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is, of course, the Lightning Flash update for November 2nd, 2017, and we are going to get straight into the weekly show reviews. I also have a lot of reports regarding Survivor Series and future plans for a big name on Monday Night Raw, which I will get into. So Raw started off with Kurt Angle addressing the Raw locker room. Stephanie McMahon then returned, unfortunately. Kurt Angle was named the team captain of Team Raw by Stephanie McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon laid down the ultimatum. Either Raw wins or Kurt Angle is fired. And then in a backstage segment, she said, "Don't believe me, just ask Mick Foley." I like this to a certain extent. I like that they are raising the stakes for Survivor Series, but I really don't like that Stephanie McMahon is just belittling talent again. I really don't like Stephanie McMahon on TV. Concentrate on running a successful company. Your father ain't going to do it. Alicia Fox then came out, and she was supposed to face Bayley, and Nia Jax took her place, and Alicia Fox is just straight cringeworthy. Please, either change her character completely, or they should have released her with the other three superstars. Now, I'm not going to say that, I encourage people to, release their employees, because I did not support the release of Emma or Summer Rae or Darren Young, because I think all of those superstars actually deserve the chance at a championship. Maybe they even deserve the championship run. But Alicia Fox, they need to change her entire character very, very quickly. She's just not believable. She's very not believable. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's just cringeworthy. So Nia Jax defeated Bayley, and then Alicia Fox picked Nia Jax as her first pick for Team Raw. And ladies and gentlemen, the Destroyer is back, Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe. And he stated, looks like by that response, it seems like many of you missed me. He said, "I don't miss any of you. And I'm going to take out my anger and frustrations. I'm going to use that hate and dislike for you against my opponent." Apollo Crews accepted the challenge, and a coquina clutch to Apollo Crews, and Apollo Crews tapped out, and then he put Titus O'Neil in the coquina clutch. Now, I don't really like the fact that Apollo is being fed to Samoa Joe just as an enhancement talent, but I do like the fact that Samoa Joe is back, and my guess is he's going to be on Team Raw. Who else is there? You got Strowman. You might as well put Joe on there, too. Joe and Strowman and Angle on a team. I thought that was just going to be some fantasy warfare. Not like last year, but legit fantasy warfare. Now we're actually going to get it. The Miz defeated Matt Hardy to retain his Intercontinental title. Wow. It took The Miz 10 months. 10 months to finally win a match clean. The very first match that Miz has won clean all year. A creative team, it only took you 10 months to give The Miz a pair of testicles. This is not going to be a reoccurring thing. If anything, I would have given Matt Hardy the Intercontinental Championship. Not because of my hatred toward The Miz, but because of the fact that Miz versus Corbin is going to be the worst match on Survivor Series. I guarantee it. The worst match. Heel versus heel matches are trash. Unless you're the authors of pain and sanity. I'm going to continue to say that every time WWE puts on a heel versus heel match. That match was fantastic. All this is pain insanity. And they actually had another match this week on NXT, which I will talk about. Asuka got put in a ring with a complete jobber. She squashed that jobber easily. Daniel Bryan then came to Raw, and he wanted to apologize to Kurt Angle. Angle told Bryan not to share that he was in the building because any Raw superstar would love to knock his teeth down his throat. And then Angle told Bryan that Raw is going to reign supreme. Daniel Bryan is then making a phone call and the lights go out. And then we return from commercial. Kane supposedly attacked Daniel Bryan. Supposedly. Finn Balor then defeated Cesaro, which was one of the highlights of Raw. The top highlights, at least. Very good match. Kane then attacked Balor. Kane then defeated Seth Rollins because Cesaro attacked Dean Ambrose. Why do they have to build up Kane just so Strowman can take him down? Isn't Strowman already at his peak? What's a win against Kane going to do for Strowman? I actually have some news on Strowman once we get to the news, rumors, and reports section. But I'm sitting there like wondering, why do they have to bring Kane back just to get Strowman even more over? I think Strowman is as over as he can get. If you want to get a guy over, all you have to do is call Roman Reigns. They'll cheer him up over Roman Reigns. Slater and Rhino then defeated the Club in a trick or street fight. Nothing really too special there. Jason Jordan attacked Elias. Kalisto defeated Drew Gulak. Bliss defeated Mickie James for the Raw Women's Championship. Or in a Raw Women's Championship match, might I add. Seriously, and it's just a bunch of recycling. They've just been recycling a lot of matches and feuds from TLC. And then, in the end, Strowman returned from a dumpster truck and destroyed the Miztourage. And now, then Angle named Strowman as his first pick for Team Raw on Twitter later that night. Now we get to SmackDown Live. Obviously, it was the better show. Shane McMahon kicked us off. McMahon says that Raw always thought that SmackDown was the inferior brand. And Shane said, what do? We go over there and we put Raw under siege. But that wasn't enough. And at Survivor Series, he named himself Team Captain. So it's going to be Shane, Orton, and then, obviously, Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode defeated Dolph Ziggler in a fantastic 2 out of 3 falls match to go to Survivor Series. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, they actually worked very well together in this match. And Roode, with one of the best glorious DDTs I've seen, probably since Nakamura, probably since his matches with Nakamura. Fantastic glorious DDT on Dolph Ziggler for the 1-2-3. SmackDown up, Raw down, hashtag under siege. Rusev apparently does not like Halloween. He thinks it is a stupid holiday. Big E was dressed as Akeem the African Dream. Kofi Kingston was dressed as Brother Love. And I'm going to give props to Kofi. Very nice costume, Kofi. I don't know how he got that. I don't know if it's face paint or a mask, but he did good with that. And then, of course, Xavier Woods is Jimmy Hart. Rusev says the only day that matters now is Rusev Day. Every day is Rusev Day, ladies and gentlemen. There was a segment between Becky Lynch and the entire Team SmackDown for the women. Natalya then came into the, I guess, group meeting, you could call it. She stated that you have to find out who the weak link is. Is it Miss Glow, who I took the SmackDown Women's title from, or is it Charlotte, who couldn't get the job done at Hell in a Cell? So obviously, they're setting up for another Natalya-Charlotte match. I'm actually hoping it's before Survivor Series, so Charlotte could take the title off Natalya, and Charlotte can be the one facing Alexa Bliss. That would be a great match. Sin Cara absolutely destroyed Baron Corbin. During the match between Sin Cara and Baron Corbin continuously tried to rip Sin Cara's mask off. He's just tugging and tearing away at it. And Sin Cara channeled his inner Braun Strowman. He picked Corbin up. He was throwing him on the table, pounding, grounding and pounding away, kneeing him against the barricade. And Sin Cara took the announcer's chair and just hurled it at Corbin. And luckily, Corbin was able to get out of the way. And Sin Cara says that it's the most disrespectful thing you could ever do to a luchador, is to take his or her mask off. He says that he is a superhero in the eyes of his children when he puts on the mask. He went through hell to get it, and he'll go through hell to keep it. I actually like that they are pushing Sin Cara, and I do have some news on why they are pushing Sin Cara. I like that they are pushing Sin Cara mainly because it is living up to the name, the Land of Opportunity, number one. Number two, it's not just a repetitive storyline, and the same superstars are not given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity over and over and over again. We're actually getting some new guys in there. Although I would have liked to see, Luke Harper get in the mix over there. But Sin Cara is okay. It's new, it's fresh, and it has never been done before. And for those of you who are going to come at me and say, oh, but you said that about Jinder Mahal. Sin Cara, unlike Jinder Mahal, can actually wrestle. If anything, you could put the WWE title on Sin Cara, and he'll make it 1,000 times more prestigious than Jinder Mahal ever could. Guarantee it. Continuing on here, we had a confrontation backstage between the Usos, down since day one-ish, and Benjamin and Gable. They talked to Shane McMahon, and next week on Smackdown, in perhaps one of the best tag team matches you might see all year for the main roster. It's going to be Benjamin and Gable versus the Usos for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. And I think Shelton Benjamin just turned Chad Gable into super hot fire with his reaction to Chad Gable's bars. That was a very entertaining segment. We had Jinder Mahal come out, and he vowed to defeat Lesnar, and he will be known as the Beast Master. No. You are not the Beast Master, Mr. Mahal. You are the Trash Master. If anything, I wish that they would have put you in that dumpster, or in that garbage truck at TLC rather than Braun Strowman. I wish that they had put you where you belong. Not a Beast Master. You are a Trash Master, because nobody in the WWE outside of Roman Reigns embodies the term hot garbage more so than Jinder Mahal. This led to AJ Styles defeating Samir Singh within 30 seconds. Mahal then attacked and delivered 2 brutal colossus on AJ Styles. And backstage, actually, it was confirmed by Shane McMahon that AJ Styles and Rusev would be taking place next week. However, breaking news just came out today. Or excuse me, not today. Yesterday. My bad. It came out yesterday, and it said that AJ Styles is not going to be facing Rusev. He's going to be facing Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. God, I hope AJ Styles wins so we can get AJ versus Lesnar. Can you imagine a match between AJ and Lesnar? That right there is a WrestleMania-worthy match. The Bludgeon Brothers are coming as, the promos keep on continuing. I'm expecting them to make their debut possibly, maybe at Clash of Champions. But we'll have to wait and see. Rusev then defeated Big E. Nothing really too special there. Rusev got a win. Stranger Things took place. Another 11. No, I'm a 10. It just keeps on getting better and better with the Fashion Files spin-offs, man. Let me tell you. And then the main event, a fantastic main event between Nakamura and Kevin Owens. So, near the end of the match, Sami Zayn came about. He distracted Nakamura. Owens took advantage of it, threw Nakamura into the post, and then tossed Nakamura back into the ring. He went up to the top, delivered a fantastic frog splash. Kevin Owens, let me tell you something. For his size, I know Kevin Owens is a fantastic wrestler, but if Eddie Guerrero were alive today, he would be praising Kevin Owens for his frog splash. So he hit that frog splash for a near fall, and then Sami Zayn started tearing apart the table, throwing away the covering, the monitors. Randy Orton came out of nowhere, and he did not deliver an RKO. He delivered a back suplex right on the table. And then just stared down Kevin Owens. Nakamura hit a Kinshasa knee strike for the victory. So now Nakamura, Rude, Orton, and Shane McMahon are all on Team SmackDown. And my guess at this point is obviously the winner of next week's match between AJ and Mahal is WWE Champion. Loser, my guess, is going to be on Team SmackDown. All in all, SmackDown Live was a very good show. On 205 Live, Drew Gulak started off the show, and he demonstrated us what it is like to celebrate Halloween in his Drewtopia. He presented to us his plan for a better Halloween, and he did it in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. I love Drew Gulak's PowerPoint presentation, man. No candy, no trick-or-treating. He was going on, and then Akira Tozawa interrupted Nigel McGuinness like the fantastic heel commentator that he is. He goes, "No, we had 47 more slides to go." 205 Live, Drew Gulak and Nigel McGuinness, it works very well. Works very well for the two. Akira Tozawa then defeated Drew Gulak. Nice little match that they put on. I was expecting Akira Tozawa to win. I'm not sure if this is the end of the feud. My guess, no. Enzo will face Kalisto for the Cruiserweight title at Survivor Series. That match was confirmed, so that will be the only championship match at Survivor Series. Can you believe that? Rich Swann came out dressed as a clown to mock the Brian Kendrick, and Nigel McGuinness called him Pennywise Swan, I believe. So Pennywise Swan, and I got to give props to Rich Swann. I got to give props to Swann. He did a very good job. He was doing all the moves that he would originally do if he was in his normal ring attire with a clown suit. He was doing all of his normal moves with a clown suit, and even if he connected a little abstract with that Phoenix Splash, he still put on a very good match, and he got the win. And then, in the main event, it was a Fright Night Fatal 4-Way between Arya Daivari, Metalik, Nice, and Mustafa Ali. So apparently, Arya Daivari was searching in the candy bowl. He pulled out a Grand Metalik mask, and he became Arya Metalik. Then Mustafa Ali put the mask on a skeleton, threw it at Arya Daivari. Metalik came out of nowhere, did the tornado thing around the ropes with a drop kick. Nice does not like candy. And apparently, he also likes doing sit-ups while throwing pumpkins at his opponents in the Tree of Woe position. So, he was then stunned, I believe it was by Metalik, and Mustafa Ali just took I think it was a fun-sized Twix, and just put it in his mouth, and he was holding the candy in his mouth, and then he got super kicked. So he was out for a little bit, and then they brought a table into the ring. And he had a bag, and everyone thought it was going to be thumbtacks. He poured it out, and it was candy corn. So Nice ended up getting put through the candy corn table, and Mustafa Ali wins in very interesting fashion. He did a split-legged leg drop with the broom. And Nigel McGuinness saying, flying like the Wicked Witch of the West. So Mustafa Ali won that match. It was a fun match. I really hope Mustafa Ali goes somewhere, because he's got the in-ring talent to succeed anywhere. Anywhere. He could succeed inside the Cruiserweight division, outside the Cruiserweight division, wherever you put him. I hope he becomes Cruiserweight champion. Him or Alexander. Now, my favorite show this week. We got NXT. So, Nikki Cross defeated Taynara Conti, and boy oh boy, Taynara Conti. Is Taynara Conti fine or what? Taynara Conti, man. I wish I was Brazilian. That was obviously a squash match. I expected it to be. Nikki Cross, she didn't really need to have a competitive match. Obviously, they're building up Nikki Cross for her Fatal 4-Way at NXT Takeover Wargames, or Houston, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Then we had Fabian Aichner versus Johnny Gargano. This match, I tweeted out that this match was brutal. It was brutal, let me tell you. Fabian Aichner, he was doing all sorts of crazy moves. He did a springboard top rope moonsault when he landed on his feet. He did a power bomb into a jackknife cover. Gargano kicked out of that. Gargano did a step up enziguri in the corner. Fabian Aichner, he is almost like NXT's version of Tony Nese. Moves like a cruiserweight, hits like a heavyweight. This guy has got some power. He has got some power. And he ended up winning with an innovative roll-up. I believe it was an abdominal stretch roll-up. And Fabian Aichner defeated Johnny Gargano in a huge upset. Does this mean that Johnny Gargano gets a rematch in the future? Or are they going to make this a one-and-done situation? Maybe. I believe Johnny is probably going to go on a bit of a losing streak. And then finally get some momentum behind him. Probably around WrestleMania season. Obviously, because Ciampa is rumored to be coming back in March. Ciampa then comes back in March. Then we can have the match of the year that everyone is going to be talking about at NXT TakeOver New Orleans during WrestleMania weekend between Gargano and Ciampa. It was confirmed on NXT that Black will face the Velveteen Dream at TakeOver. The Street Profits were outside admiring a new car. And Tino Sabbatelli and Riddick Moss came from off camera. And he goes like, whoa, get away from my car, bro. What are you guys doing? So I'm guessing that that's going to lead to a program between the Street Profits and Sabbatelli and Moss. McIntyre arranged for a contract signing between himself and Almas for the NXT Championship. McIntyre came out all dressed all nice with his black collar-down shirt with the dress pants, NXT title over his shoulder, contract in his hands. Almost comes out of nowhere and just blindsides him right in the back of the head. And then he signs the contract, takes Zelina Vega's gum, sticks it to the contract, and sticks it on McIntyre. This is going to be a very good match, I guarantee it. It was confirmed that Kairi Sane will face Billie Kay next week. And then in the main event, Sanity versus the AOP was interrupted by the Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong teased joining. And then he attacked Cole Fish and O'Reilly. Regal then came out. He said, I am sick of this anarchy. I'm sick of this chaos. Here's what we're going to do. Undisputed Era, Sanity, Authors of Pain, and Roderick Strong in 2 rings, 1 cage, in War Games. And the way he said it just got the crowd hyped up. Very, very good ending to NXT. I cannot wait to see that match. Now, it's time to go into the news, rumors, and reports section of the Lightning Flash update. Obviously, PW Insider reported that Sin Cara is currently being given a push since he has signed a new multi-year deal with the WWE. I am all for this. keep on doing what you're doing, Sin Cara. And keep on what you're doing, creative team of SmackDown Live. I want to see Sin Cara and all the other guys that have been overlooked. I want to see them on television, and I want to see all these new guys get the opportunities that they should have gotten when they first arrived. Cage Side Seats reported that Triple H versus Kurt Angle could be the direction for WrestleMania 34, and Stephanie McMahon's return and demand for a change in attitude from Kurt Angle was the possible start of the program. This could actually be very, very interesting. I would like to see how this plays out, as long as it's not overshadowing any type of main title program on Monday Night Raw, just like it did earlier this year with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon. I got a report from Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and it is about NXT Takeover Wargames. Pro Wrestling Unlimited reported that Roderick Strong could possibly be turning heel at NXT Takeover Wargames and join the Undisputed Era. This could possibly lead to the Authors of Pain also going to the main roster, because my guess is this is probably going to be the Authors of Pain, the Authors of Pain's last, or whatever you want to call it, or however you say it, rather. This is probably going to be the Authors of Pain last match. This is going to be their last match. The Authors of Pain, they have done a very good job in NXT. They've been a part of NXT for well over a year now. Well over a year. And they have done really well. They have been dominating team after team after team after team. They have been booked like absolute monsters, just like Rusev should have been booked at. Or just as Rusev should have been booked like. Just as all these other people before Rusev should have been booked like. The only person that they've actually booked like a monster is Braun Strowman. Even I would argue Kevin Owens should have also been booked like a monster. But if I was them, what I would do is I would have the Authors of Pain show up on both shows, make it almost like a hostile takeover. And Paul Ellering could say, we show up wherever the hell we want to show up. You can make it a little interesting. They could attack the Raw Tag Team Champions. They could attack the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Have some fun with it. But they're probably just going to be like, Authors of Pain are coming to SmackDown. That's probably what they're going to do. It's going to be same old, boring, typical WWE hype-up. PW Insider reported that WWE is looking to sign Rockstar Spud, who's recently been released from Impact Wrestling, to add him to the Cruiserweight division, and they also plan on adding Hideo Itami to the Cruiserweight division. I am for and against this. Rockstar Spud, yeah, okay, maybe he could do some damage there in the Cruiserweight division. Maybe he can bring some more viewers to 205 Live. Hideo Itami, not so much, because Hideo Itami, I'm not saying he can't bring views. What I'm saying is I really want to see Hideo Itami succeed with the big boys. Well, in reality, like, anyone could succeed with the big boys. Problem is that Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn will not allow them to. That's a problem. Because if the weight limit of the cruiserweights was taken off, I guarantee you, like, guys like Alexander, guys like Rich Swann, guys like D. Brian Kendrick, they would be fighting all these guys like Rollins and Ambrose. They would be fighting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and I would think that they would do pretty well for themselves. But obviously the weight limit is on. I really would like Itami to go to SmackDown rather than Raw. I think that Itami could put on some great matches, especially with the likes of Zayn and Orton and Nakamura on there. SmackDown really has the star power, even if Jinder Mahal is WWE Champion. Moving on here, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Braun Strowman could possibly be put into an Intercontinental Championship program with The Miz in the future. Obviously, they are going to have to finish off the program between Strowman and Kane before they can move any further with Strowman. Of course, that is according to them. But if anything, I would give Strowman the Intercontinental Championship now. Matter of fact, what I would have done is I think it should have been Strowman defeating Lesnar at No Mercy, Nakamura defeating Mahal at Hell in a Cell. We should have been getting Nakamura and Strowman at Survivor Series. That would have been a fantastic match. That right there is a pay-per-view worthy match. That is a match worthy of brand competition. But I am all for Braun Strowman getting pushed into a championship program, even if it is an Intercontinental Championship program. To a certain extent, we all know that Braun Strowman is, in some way, shape, or form, a babyface. So it would make sense, especially since he destroyed the Miz Taraj this past Monday night on Raw. I got a couple more reports here. Another report from PW Insider. PW Insider actually reported that James Storm could be on his way out of Impact Wrestling once his contract expires in January. We all know that James Storm had a 2-match run with NXT. I believe it was somewhere in late 2015, early 2016. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it happened. I know for a fact it happened because I saw both matches. So, this is a huge opportunity for WWE and NXT to capitalize. They need to get James Storm in NXT. I think James Storm would be a fantastic addition to NXT. He could have some great matches with Almas and Gargano and Aleister Black, even the Velveteen Dream. And my final report of the day. If anyone saw it, you would know that the Survivor Series poster was leaked, and it confirmed that the same rumor that I reported last week. I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and the Survivor Series leaked poster confirmed that John Cena is indeed going to be the special guest referee for the Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar match. Could somebody please tell me how that is a good decision? I stated this numerous times. I've been stating this time after time after time after time again. Nobody wants to see Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar to begin with. What makes you think adding John Cena as a special guest referee would generate any interest? Number one. Number two, nobody wants to see a program between Mahal and John Cena. John Cena, he's got one foot out the door. He's got one foot out the door already. He is a part-timer. He does not need to win a 17th World Championship. He really doesn't. If anything, I'm praying to God. I am praying to God that AJ Styles defeats Mahal next week on Tuesday. Mahal can go to Team Smackdown Live. I don't really care. Then they can have the rematch at Clash of Champions, and that's the end of that. But I'm just praying. I got my fingers crossed. I got my legs crossed. I'm gonna cross my eyes. I'm gonna cross my arms. I'm gonna cross whatever limbs that I have to make sure that AJ Styles walks out of SmackDown Live next week, the WWE Champion. And that's all we have, or I have rather, for the Lightning Flash update. Thank you to everyone who tuned into this video live. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram at DDog316. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter at #1WWEFan. Do not forget to give that notifications bell a phenomenal forearm, like, a comment, a subscribe. I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I will see you next week.